If you've been watching Disenchantment and you're wondering who is Elfo's mother, stay tuned, I think I have an answer. Hey family members, welcome to the Fangirl. I'm Megan, and I spend way too much time deciphering the intimate relationship of cartoon characters. There is no better example of this than Elfo from Netflix's Disenchantment. Now, unlike the crazy internet, I actually love this series because it shows that a girl can be anything, even if that's a drunken screw-up of a princess who tends to do more harm than good. Finally, a show to represent my lifestyle. Anyways, one of the bigger mysteries from season 1, or this is Netflix so it might be part 1 maybe, is that Elfo's father says that Elfo's mama was no elf, and I suspect that we saw her in season 2 or part 2, whichever. We don't know a lot about the elves in the Disenchantment universe, but we do know that only one elf has ever left Elfwood before, Levo, which actually brings up a lot of questions as to how Elfo's papa found a non-elf to reproduce with. I think I can explain that issue away though. Elves not leaving Elfwood seems to be a newish rule, like something awful happened to them in man's world so now they hide, and Elfo's father is so old that he was around before the hiding thing went into effect. Spoiler for the end of season 2 coming, but I would guess that the elves don't like to interact with the rest of the world because Dreamland enslaved them before. During the season finale, we see these creepy subterranean elves, and they're either possessed by magic or they've been hiding in the dark so long that they've adapted to it. And yeah, that'll do it. No elves are gonna stick around if you're harming them. So long story short, Elfo's dad is from an era when elves could wander around the world and do as they pleased. Then Daddy Dearest found a lady that he became infatuated with. They had a baby, and when Elfwood decided to shut itself off from the rest of the world, a choice had to be made. Would baby Elfo stay with his father or his mother? Well, we know that Elfo went with his father, which means his mother was probably in a position that was either unsafe or unfit for Elfo to live in. And I really think they named him Elfo to try and pass him off as an elf. Everyone else in Elfwood has a name like Levo, Shaco, Singo, Bravo. They're like the Smurfs where their name represents their most notable trait. But Elfo was basically named to be an outcast because his name is Elf. Oh! There's nothing special about him, or at least nothing that his father wanted the others to notice. Elfo by name is designated to be a generic elf. So what kind of mother is living in a place of turmoil that wouldn't be accepting of a half-elf baby to the point she'd have to send it away? Enter Ogre City. No, I'm serious. I think Elfo's mom is the ogre we briefly saw in episode 5. Not only does this ogre help a random elf, showing that she has an affinity towards that race, but she also responds to the name Elfo like she recognizes it.
Elfo?
Alright, I agree that's not enough to make a solid theory, but look at her nose. This ogress's nose is the exact same shape as Elfo's. And don't get in the comments saying that, well, this is a cartoon, so the artist just made two noses similarly, because none of the other elves have a nose like Elfo's. And I have looked and looked over that episode, and there is not one other ogre with that same nose either. Every other ogre we see has one rounded line to make up their nose shape. Meanwhile, this lady has two distinct nostrils. The truth is in those details. I do want to pause for a second and say that this ogre does look a lot younger than Elfo's dad, but we don't know if ogres and elves age at the same rate. Dad could be 70 and mom could be 342. We just don't know enough to confirm anything. Although we did see that the queen ogre didn't really look older than her own son, so maybe ogres don't show traditional signs of aging in this universe. But I will cover my bases and say that this ogre could also be Elfo's aunt or sister or some other female relative. She does know about Elfo though, which means she'd have to know the family secrets if she's not the mother herself. But I feel very confident that Elfo is half ogre, half elf. Why that turned Prince Merkimer into a pig, I really don't know. But I also wouldn't have guessed that Rebecca and Cloyd were Bean's aunt and uncle, so I guess we'll get answers as Matt decides to give them to us. It might not be reality, but theories are more fun. Hey, little derps today. For those of you who don't know what this is, just stumbled into a random video. After the main part of the video is over, I kind of hang out with people a little bit. We chat, sometimes we sing, it's, a whole thing. Today I want to tell you about my purple hair because I feel like I failed at it, but gosh darn it, I put it in, so I was gonna use it for something. It's still wet. It's kind of drying out at the bottom, but it's like a one-time use, one-wash hair dye. And I think I just put it in way too thick. The box said to comb it in with the little tube attached to it, so it's like dye and comb, but then you miss a big gap, so you gotta keep going back over it till you fill in the line. But yeah, it's been over an hour and it's still pretty wet, putting some purple marks on my hand. It's finally starting to dry, but it's kind of hard and crusty. But I thought I'd tell you about it because I'm sure I've got some on my face now from where it's still really wet in here. Yeah, there's a bunch of purple there. This is actually Splat limited edition one wash temporary dye in the color Vivid Velvet. It was part of a Disney Channel promotion for Descendants 3, and over the course of VidCon we ended up with one of each color, so I wanted to try it out. Unfortunately, I either did it wrong or this is just not meant to be. It'd be great if you just want colored hair for a Halloween costume for one day, but I don't really recommend it otherwise. Not that this is really a review anyways, I'm just telling you people why my hair looks awful. This is the Mal color, apparently. I haven't watched Descendants yet, so I don't know anything about that series. Anyways, thanks for watching this far into the video for my rambling rant of the day. And before I sign off, I'd love to know, do you have any predictions for Disenchantment season/part 3, whichever way Netflix says it? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to get some feedback from you guys because I'm so excited for this series to keep going. I hate that it ended on a cliffhanger. I really felt like season 1 had a cliffhanger and then season 2 ended on pretty much the exact same type of cliffhanger, and we got no answers in between. Matt. Bye, guys. Well, family members, we're almost done, but I want to invite you to hang out with me in some other places. I'm on Twitter and Instagram as my own personal self, and I have a Facebook page too, but I mostly just post photos over there. And sometimes people say, "Hey McGann, I want to mail you something. How do I do that?" Easy. Just click the About tab on my channel page, and my most current P.O. Box info will be right there. I also run another channel, The Family. It's really a hodgepodge channel where we might post anything. Oh yeah, and I also sell shirts and stickers and stuff with the Fanily and the Fangirl logos. If that is your cup of tea, I have a link in every description of every video. Finally, if you want to help out the Fangirl channel and make sure I'm putting out video essays for years to come, the best way you can help is by subscribing and watching more of my videos, whether they're new, old, whatever. Maybe even share one or two on social media, help spread the word. People who watch to the end of videos like you helps to tell the site, hey, this is a good video, we should recommend it to other people. So if you made it this far, leave me a comment of something like, hey, I made it to the end. Love ya. See you next time, family members. Bye.